I have a little girl called Lois, who's not so little. I call her little, but she's not very little anymore. She's 10 and she's a giant. As you know, she has cerebral palsy and is very physically disabled and quite medically complex. But also, as you know, that's not what defines Lois. She is a cheeky, funny, mischievous little lady who wants to be into everything and everybody's business. So life started out in a very difficult way for Lois. Lois was very healthy up until the point that she was born. She was not disabled, and unfortunately she was injured at birth. So that was difficult, to say the least. Difficult for us, but obviously also for Lois, because she was, weren't sure if she was going to survive. Her birth injury was very severe. So we spent the first few months of her life in hospital. You can't even begin to imagine, if you haven't got or you work with a child like Lois, it's a 24/7 job, and obviously you're doing that on top of everything else. So life with Lois is difficult. However, it's completely made up by the fact that life with her is just wonderful. She brings so much joy everywhere she goes because she's so funny and she's got a personality that just lights up a room. We are very lucky. We have a very loving family and we have a very supportive family, and we have built up a network of friends that means that we are able to have a really lovely life. However, I say to people, don't mistake us being happy and smiling as having an easy life, because my God, life is hard. She's opened us up to a world that we never wanted to be part of, but actually, my God, I dread the day that we're not part of that world anymore, because it means, we were welcomed with open arms by BDCPS. We were made to believe that actually we weren't alone. We didn't know anybody who had disabled children, particularly not severely disabled children. Not only did we realise that we weren't the only one, but actually it was okay and life could still go on. BDCPS have enabled us to not just provide opportunities for Lois, but for all of us to be together and to do things together. And that's what her brother and sister deserve. They deserve to do things with their sister. They deserve to make memories, and they deserve to spend time with her and not have to do things when she's not around or when she's being looked after, because actually we do need that break sometimes, because caring for Lois 24/7 is hard. But we also need those opportunities to be together as a family and do those things that normal families, for want of a better word, take for granted. Going out for dinner, popping to the shops, going on a boat on a lake, all those things. Lots of families can go down to Bedford River and hire a boat for the afternoon for the whole family. We can't do that. We can't just hop on a train whenever we want without help. All of those things that are just not possible, BDCPS have given us the belief that actually, do you know what? Yeah, they are possible. We might just need a bit of extra help to do them, but they're possible. Anything's possible. It's so important to support BDCPS because of the work that they do, not only for us, but for other families like ours. We honestly, it sounds like a cliche, but we would be lost without BDCPS. As I said, it provides opportunities for us to not only do things as a family and be normal for a change, but also it sometimes provides us with that much needed respite that we need. In summary, it's make or break. And I use an example which I speak to people all about all the time. When Lois Rose probably remembers, had a hip surgery and she was in plaster cast for, I think it was about 8 weeks in the end. And she cried 24/7 and she was miserable and she hated it. And I came to BDCPS and said, I don't know what to do. I'm so tired. I've had no sleep. I can't function. And they produced the wonderful Rachel for 4 hours a day for 2 weeks, so I could just go to bed. And at that point, that was make or break. All I needed was to go to bed for a few hours and for somebody to be with Lois who I knew she was safe with and looked after. And that just wouldn't have happened. And actually, I dread to think what would have happened if I'd have carried on with no sleep. I don't even want to think about what would have happened. And that's why it's so important to support such an amazing local charity that we would be lost in this area without. So thank you.